Now it's time for more of Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk Hookup. Get ready for more of the best fishing information and the hottest tips on improving your angling skills. Let's Talk Hookup is sponsored in part by Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup. Shimano Rods and Reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. And now, Southern California's sports fishing voice, the hosts of Let's Talk Hookup, Pete Gray, Rock Cod Rick Mexa, and Corey Sandin.
All right, welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Having a great time here this morning, talking fishing and talking fun with the boys from Raymarine. Certainly some really, really cool info coming out, and very pumped having Mike and Kaylen here talking fishing with us this morning. If you want to join us, man, we would love to have you here in this second hour. Let's Talk Hookup. 833-288-0973 is how you reach us here. Only on the stream and the app here for the second hour, and we're having a lot of fun. Also, if you want to send us a text, the only way you can send your text into the show is via the Let's Talk Hookup app. It's a free download, easy to find, easy to do, and it's the only way that you can send in your questions is through that Let's Talk Hookup app. We're having a great time here this morning, taking your phone calls. If you want to join us, 833-288-0973, and certainly lots of great fun coming your way. Also going to be talking a whole lot more about all this great Raymarine technology. We got more information coming up about the PCS show, and certainly very stoked to have Mike and Kaylen in here with all the information. It's time to be if you're really looking to upgrade, you're looking for more information on your boat, you're looking for more information with Raymarine, we're looking forward to talking to you. So going to be a great second hour here. And, we're just looking forward to more of your text messages, more great info. And, Kaylen, I was shocked when Pete said that you've only been doing this for, going on a year now. Your knowledge of everything Raymarine has been really impressive, man. It's been really cool having you.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, I met, kind of like Pete said, I met Mike actually at the PCS show last year. Just kind of hit it off with him and was chatting with him, and eventually it came a point where he said, we're looking for a guy in California, and I said absolutely, because I love to be out on the water and fish as much as I can. That's my hobby, and now it's part of my job, so pretty awesome.
Clearly a fishing and boating background from you. I mean, you've got the passion info that comes with a lifetime of doing this, not from a quick shot.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, it's kind of weird too. I mean, little background history is not really anyone in my family is into fishing, and for some weird reason, I got into it, and now it's my biggest passion, my biggest hobby. So,
and we were chatting before the show. You cover all bases: offshore fishing, friends with big boats, friends with small boats, kayak fishing, the whole nine. There's nothing in your repertoire that you don't do.
Yeah, I like to kind of check everything off the list, I guess you could say.
And that's what's so cool about your partner, you being part of Raymarine, is like you guys offer everything for all of those people, from kayak fishing like you do in your spare time to big boats, outfitted commercial boats, and everything in between. Raymarine's got a little bit of that for everything.
Absolutely. Yep.
That's awesome. Well, we're certainly pumped to have you. And we're also pumped to find out what's going on the water. It is time for our catch report. We got your fishdope.com report standing by with our private boater buddy, Captain Mark Wish is on the line. Today, that report is sponsored by the Fish Pros at Fisherman's Processing in San Diego, where you will get the premier processing experience. Check out the easier online system to book your processing for your long-range trips. With more team members, Fisherman's Processing stays far ahead of the rest. More same-day capacity, the finest customer service. You can stop by their location in Old Town on Taylor Street or check fishermansprocessing.com and be sure you make your reservation today. We're looking for Mark Wish, private boater buddy. We got you, Mark?
Coming through 5x5 here now.
Roger that, buddy. Hey, it's foggy here this morning, man. Cut us some slack. We just got the FLIR camera turned on, so now we're in good shape. Good morning, buddy. How are you?
Yeah, well, we got that fog up here too, man. It really settled in, but anyway, so it's sure been nice though to have pretty much a week of this good weather, after some of the stuff we've had.
No doubt.
Continues through the weekend, and with the weather down on the outside, we got all areas, all islands available for some recon, so I'm sure we're going to finally get some good coverage, because, man, it's been scarce. And then as to some actual reports, in reality, not too much this week. Up in Santa Monica Bay, the guys are picking away at a few bass and sculpin on the artificial reefs there, and even a little bit of that halibut that has been the mainstay for our action here off Long Beach. A little bit of that halibut's biting up in the bay, which is good because in years past that was just world class. So we used to run up there all the time, and past few years it's been struggling a little. So hopefully it bounces back. But for both areas, find some bait, 50 to 80 feet of water like that, preferably near some hard bottom, and start your drifts, cover the zone. Make sure you're fishing with good gear, guys. There's been some really nice ones. Make sure all those knots are properly tied and tested. And then or at Catalina, it was hit really hard with this last storm that we had there a week ago, but it's bouncing back. Conditions are better. Not quite perfect, but better. And surface action still non-existent. Way too early for that. But the halibut fishing over there has been steady all winter, a little different than on the beach. It's more shallow, 15 to 50 feet. And we've got some big swell coming, though. So if you're up there poking around the shallows, be careful. Keep an eye on that swell because it can get you there if you're up too shallow at the wrong time there. So now as those sea bass, it's getting towards that time. We've had some good hits here over the last, it's almost 2 months now, but not a lot of it. They've been kind of scarce, actually. And but you want to get over there if you're going to fish bait. There's a lot of bait around. You want to get set up on the bait grounds, make your tank of bait, and then get ready for daylight. And you might stay right there on the bait if you're marking some fish during the night. Those sea bass with their big air bladders, they mark on a depth finder really well. And so if you're seeing some fish, I'd probably set it out. If not, I'd maybe relocate somewhere up a little more shallow on the edge of some structure there. But regardless, make sure your gear's in good shape. What has been caught has been mostly pretty big, and so you want to be ready for that. But as March creeps closer, guys, it's just about game on at that sea bass situation or at Catalina. And then Pete.
Yeah.
Are you there, Pete?
Roger.
We're back,
Roger,
buddy.
We're back.
Okay, you threw me under the bus last weekend.
Uh-oh.
Yes, I did, as a matter of fact. Yeah. Well, Dave Pfeiffer, I got to explain.
Oh, what happened, man? Let me in here.
Dave Pfeiffer was on the show,
okay.
and we talked about the big CCA dinner honoring Dave Pfeiffer with the Anthony Shea Award.
Yeah, in Long Beach.
In Long Beach, which is right next to where Mark lives. And I said, Mark, are you coming to the dinner to honor Dave? Right? Is that what you're referring to?
Hey,
you're coming.
Yeah. All right.
We're coming, yeah. Shortly after we got off the show there, I got a phone call from a longtime friend and with an invitation we could hardly refuse, and we're coming in.
So,
that's awesome,
I look forward to seeing everybody there.
Yeah, fantastic. Again, that's May 1st.
Yeah.
It's up in Long Beach, and if you want tickets, you want to join us, I'm going, and I know pretty much everybody's going.
Yeah, we have a Fisherman's Dining Tackle bought a table, and myself and Doug and some of the boys are going to be up there. Dallas is coming.
Mark Wish is going.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
So be there. I know Steve Pinard bought a table and from Dana Landing. A lot of people. But there's still tables available, still tickets available. Go to ccacalifornia.org and click on the events button and buy tickets to that event to honor a great man and enjoy meeting a lot of people within the industry, too. And I know Anthony's going to probably be there, too, giving the award away.
Hey, cool.
Yeah, so that's cool.
Yeah.
If he's not out catching blue marlin
you'll get to see Mark
right?
Wish.
Yeah. Fantastic, Mark. Well, Kaylen and I had lunch yesterday, and he was showing me pictures of these giant halibut he's catching over in Catalina. I don't know how I'm supposed to let that out. But what you're saying about make sure your lines and knots are right, the pictures that Kaylen was showing me about the halibut he's catching over Catalina, man, you better make sure.
Wow. Did you get some good ones?
Not... Well,
Humble's coming out. Let me answer for him. Yes, he's
go ahead and get right in front of that.
In November we got 23 legals in like 2.5 hours on the backside.
Nice.
That was a private boat. We had 8 people on the boat. But the big one that he's talking about is I had a friend who caught his first legal halibut last year. I'm sorry, and. I'm not going to release the spot, unfortunately, but it ended up being 42 pounds.
First legal 42 pounds.
Yeah.
But it was on the coast.
Yeah, it was a local halibut. It wasn't at Catalina, and I showed some of these guys the photo. I caught a 15-pounder that same day, and it made my 15-pounder look tiny.
You could have fly-lined that 15-pounder for the 40-pounder.
Yep.
Wow, cool. Well, hey, Mark.
This halibut I mean, this halibut thing has just been great, for everybody here this winter. Just something to do with rockfish clothes. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, but those are good ones, man. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
I know down this way, San Diego-wise, the Dolphin on
they're
I think on Wednesdays they do their halibut derby. Same deal, just like Mark says, a cool thing to do in absence of rockfish fishing. And they have been having a fantastic time. Lots of legals, and there's been several big fish. And again, Mark, as they always are, Mark's reports are spot on. I guess there was 2 just absolute heartbreaks on their trip yesterday. I mean, like gaff out, ready for fish to come aboard. One fish that they called 25, the other they thought was 35 plus, and both watched the head just come out of the water, head shake the wrong way, boom, go away. So two potential derby winners that like we're not close, we're like ultra close. And they watched them swim back. So still opportunities and lots of big fish to go along with the legals and shorts that they have had. So there's some really good fishing going on.
Yeah, for sure. Well, hey, fishdope.com. He's got the reports. He's got everything you need. $30 off a new membership to fishdope.com using the code HOOKUPNOW. Lowercase, no space. HOOKUPNOW is your $30 code. And Mark, how do we find you?
Well, P, we're in Huntington Beach. We're on the corner of Bolsa Chica and Edinger by the Chevron station. And the phone number is area code 714-840-4262. The website's PacificEdgeTackle.com. And we'll be talking to you guys next week.
Okay,
great
thanks,
job,
Mark.
Mark.
Appreciate that. Talk to you next week. All right, and that is our catch report today. Appreciate Mark Wish there, and Mike. We still have you on the line.
Yep, I'm here, guys.
Okay,
Hey,
great.
right on,
All
Mike.
right, thanks, Mike. Glad you're still with us. You have a great text, huh?
I thought so, and I know the boys will be able to point him in the right direction. Say, hey, great show, guys. I'm relatively new to electronic navigation and don't feel like I'm getting the max benefit achievable yet. My question is, does Raymarine have, or can you recommend any resources to help one get better trained on their navigational equipment? That's from Dan and Pomona.
Yeah.
We've got a.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Caleb.
No, go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, I was just going to say, we do a series of YouTube videos that have instructional how-tos, how to set up a fish finder, how to tune your frequency, and for whatever type of fish and scenario you're in. And then also, if you follow Raymarine on social media, every Thursday around 4 o'clock our time, Pacific time, we do a 2-hour segment called Raymarine Live, where Jim McGowan, our marketing guru, he'll actually get in the studio and he'll set up a system on Raymarine Live and go through the entire catalog, whether we're setting up a new page or building out routes. Really it's for guys that are getting into it for the first time, maybe bought a system and don't know how to navigate through it all the way. But go to follow Raymarine on social media, and then really I tell people in our boat shows, the easiest way to learn this stuff is to just poke buttons on it, right? Go to a West Marine, go to one of these dealerships, talk with somebody that knows the gear, and you'll find that it's so intuitive that really the best way to learn it is just to poke buttons, just like your iPad or your iPhone when you pull it out of the box. It's a lot of trial and error, figuring out how to navigate through, and it's pretty straightforward.
The one cool thing about it, though, like you say, is just by poking buttons, you're not gonna get yourself into a place where you can't get back from either. Like it is simple, yeah. and that's the good thing about it. But it's simple operation on advanced technology. You're just not going to get yourself in the weeds or screw something up by getting around and poking buttons and playing around with it.
That's exactly right. Yep, and you can actually save all your settings too. So if you ever needed to, back up your system, your settings, and your data, if you have another buddy that has Raymarine, or maybe you had multiple boats, you can, transfer your coordinates and waypoints from boat to boat to boat. And then doing software updates, getting the system updated is as easy as pairing it to Wi-Fi, and it'll update everything on the network, your autopilot, your cameras, your antennas, everything, just like an iPhone.
That's legit.
Pretty easy stuff. Hey, right now we have Joe or Vince on the line from Johnson Hicks Marine. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Pete. This is Joe from Johnson Hicks Marine.
Hey, Joe. Great to hear your voice. And Joe, of course, introduced me to Raymarine and all the guys at Raymarine, and just super excited when I talked to Mike about joining the Raymarine team. And you guys, and I was talking, I remember when I first had the conversation, I was like, no, wait a minute. Raymarine's been around a long time. It's like kind of old-fashioned stuff, right? And you went, oh no, this new Raymarine stuff will blow your mind, and you were so right, Joe.
Yeah, the new lineup with Raymarine, they've really gone out and put the effort into it. Yeah, I think they did have a dip in the market, but they sat back and really designed a platform that is different than a lot of other people's. The way they stream video across their MFDs is like no other manufacturer. So I think you've got definitely the hot setup on your boat there, Pete. And I know you're enjoying it, and you're catching more fish, aren't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, certainly seeing more fish. Yeah, for sure, no doubt about it. But so now you're going to be at the PCS show right next to Raymarine, right? And you're going to be having some incredible show specials on all brands of electronics, right?
That's right. Yeah, we have this nice little opportunity to, offer the public a little discount on this equipment, and we'll be doing that. We'll have the full lineup of Ray. We'll have Mike and Kaylen at the Raymarine booth. We'll have the Garmin booth there. We'll have the Furuno booth there. The Simrad Lowrance booth will be there. They'll all be in the hangar building. The Johnson Hicks booth will be at 412 to 414. So we're really pretty excited about this show. I mean, the buzz on it has been incredible.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, and so can you release any kind of what the deals are?
We really can't with the way the MRP works. They don't allow us to do that, but I can guarantee you it will be worth your time to come to the show. Everything will be on discount. It will be a great opportunity to be able to sit down, talk to us. If you have a question, the manufacturer will be right there. Definitely going to be a one-stop shop.
Okay, great.
That's awesome.
That sounds great. So, of course, right there in the hangar building, Johnson Hicks Marines, you're going to have a giant display like you always do at the show?
Yep, we'll have our big display. All the manufacturers will be on display within our own booth as well. You'll have the opportunity to talk to someone that spends a lot of time. We don't just sell everything. We just sell marine electronics.
Joe,
and that's been our kind of our name of fame for 35 plus years now.
I think that's such an invaluable source too, and I always say this, like, in the best of ways. You don't care what a customer buys. What you do is go through. You have everything available, and you're gonna suit the needs. Like, obviously, with all this killer technology we've been talking about, it's going to be hard to steer away from Raymarine. But you have everything available, and you can walk a customer through, their needs and figure out what the right unit is going to be for them.
Exactly, and that's what we do. We're not, you call in and give us a part number and we sell you a product. That's not what we do. We want to talk to you. I want to learn how you fish and what your needs are. And our guys have done this for long enough where we can steer you in a direction that we feel is where you need to be. If it's Ray, yeah, let's go to Ray. Ray's going to have some unbelievable deals out there. Mike has put together that are off the charts. So Ray's going to be pushing some really big deals. I think you're going to be really surprised.
That's what Kaylen and Mike were alluding to. Same deal. So you kind of can't let the cat out of the bag quite yet, but some really big bundle incentives, and you pick this, you're going to get that. There's going to be some pretty compelling deals to go Raymarine with our electronics upgrades this year.
Absolutely. And the other thing, Pete, that we offer is a lot of follow-up support. So if you're going to be a customer that's installing your own stuff, we're going to be there for you and help you and answer those questions, because that's what we do every day. So that's going to be an easy thing for us, and we're just not selling you a piece of equipment. We're trying to create a relationship, and the shows is how we advertise, but we grow every year, and that's because of our commitment to our customers.
Well said.
All right. Awesome. Well, hey, Johnson Hicks Marine at the PCS show, and if somebody can't make the show, how do we find you at Johnson Hicks Marine, Joe?
So you can email us at sales@johnsonhicksmarine.com, or pick up the phone and talk to us direct. That number is 831-475-3600. 888-866-3383. We're there Monday through Friday, 8 to 5.
Awesome. Well, killer info, man. We sure appreciate everything, and we're really looking forward to seeing you. Boy, coming up just a couple of weeks, we'll look forward to seeing you at the PCS show.
All right, Pete, we're going to be there.
Thanks, Joe.
We're ready for you.
Appreciate that very much. Thanks for the phone call.
All right, thanks very much. All right, Mike, we still have you?
Yep, I'm here, guys.
Okay, great. All right, I think right at the end of that show, the end of his call, I think I solved the issue with the conference call.
Being able to have both at the same time.
So it's a new system here, guys. We're learning it all here. But thanks to Joe for calling in. Appreciate that very, very much. Yeah. So anyway, lots of good questions. You have another great text.
I thought so for sure. It's just more of what we've been talking about, and such a great reason to come to PCS show and get to see Mike and get to see Kaylen and hopefully get him. Johnson Nick says, I'm out on the Some Fun right now with Captain Woolley listening on the app. Going to report back tomorrow to let you know how the fishing is. Question for the guests, how would you set up a 23-foot Parker for SoCal fishing without spending a tremendous amount of money? I don't want to spend as much of my electronics as buying another boat. Also, how old of electronics would you say it's time to upgrade? Example, what kind of difference am I getting between today's electronics versus some that are 5 or 10 years old? That's all from Brian in San Clemente.
Yeah, hey, Brian. I would definitely recommend either our Axiom Plus or Axiom Pro line. As far as electronics being, how far they've come in the last 5 years, I'll say from probably 2018, 2019 to now, that's when all the brands really started putting the higher processing power in it, the higher chirp sounder modules. When you start getting back to the 2010, 12, maybe even 14 gear, that's when you're going to see things being a little bit more annotated, a little bit more latency when you're navigating through the chart plotter. But really, if you can get 8 years out of marine electronics, right? You think about how harsh of an environment that these electronics live in. If you're running electronics that are 6, 7 years old, and you're thinking, well, maybe should I be upgrading? What am I going to see as a benefit to the new stuff versus the old stuff? Really, the big thing is the cartography, right? All the high res bathymetric charts, right? Some of those older units can't see some of the relief shading when you're looking at avionics, and then the other one is the sonar, right? If you're running an older unit that just has maybe a P66 or P58 transducer that's just doing 50, 200 kilohertz, when you go into any one of these new Axiom Pluses or Axiom Pros, you're really getting the full functionality of all the side vision, the down vision, the 3D. Our footprint in what we're able to see under the water is dramatic in compared to what we were doing, 6, 7, 8 years ago.
Okay. And now you talked about the processors and the insane processing speed that Raymarine now has with that 6-core processor. Is that does that affect the fish finding, the speed that the information is coming to the unit, or is it just navigating pages and switching between plotters and you know what I mean? Where do we see that insane speed that you guys are getting now?
Yeah, you see it all over, right? In the sonar in particular, right now with these higher faster processors is the redraw speed and the impedance, right? So how fast are we painting the picture when we're going over bait, or a lot of times guys will ask, hey, can my fish finder work when I'm on step and I'm running?
Right.
If I'm doing 25 knots and I'm holding bottom, or if I'm cruising, can I see bait and fish while I'm running? And the answer is yes, right? And really, it's a little tough to explain, but instead of you painting a picture of a big glob of mackerel or sardines, if you were on a bait stop or trolling, when you're doing 25, 30 miles an hour and you go over a pot of bait, you're going to see these big vertical lines, right? Because the sonar is going so fast. When you go over a pot of bait or a wad of fish and you see these vertical lines, to me, that's when I'm coming off the sticks and going, hey, what did we just go over? We just went over something there. And then now you start your figure eights, you start doing your hunting for fish. Then all of a sudden it's like, holy cow, wow, we wouldn't have seen that if we weren't glued to our sonar when we were running. So yeah.
Okay, all right. Hey, well, I have a great text here. And it says, good morning, guys. Great show as usual. We use FLIR a lot on our helos for search and rescue. Mm-hmm. Where are you using the same technology for marine applications? That's from Tom in NorCal.
Yeah, Absolutely, yeah. Kaylen and I worked for the FLIR Maritime division of FLIR in Raymarine. A lot of our Coast Guard auxiliary government agencies, search and rescue, fish and wildlife, all have, a version of FLIR cameras for, looking for missing persons in the water. Anytime, there's a boat that might be sinking, or, something where we're looking for heat, right, in total darkness. So, yeah, we see a lot of operators for, helicopters and airplanes and stuff that use a different version of FLIR, right? They're probably using a bigger FLIR camera, but the same concept, right? We're looking for heat signatures, and the FLIR will pick up anything with about a 2-degree difference in heat, right? So if we can, same with logs and buoys, they store ambient heat during the daytime. So at night, because they're a different temperature than the water, we can see them.
Now, yesterday, Kaylen, you were saying that you can pick up kelp patties on the FLIR.
Yeah, that's my
Yeah,
at night.
yeah, you should. Yeah, just like Mike was saying, it should hold heat, different degree temperature than the water. So you should be able to pick up the kelp patty, and then you could sit on it at nighttime until the sun rises.
That was my next question was from Wayne Cotto, and he wanted to know exactly that. There's so much technology advancements in this new Raymarine radar, and then obviously the integration with FLIR. He was wondering if there's any technology that's going to help you assist finding kelps. So you're saying like in a low light condition or a no night condition, that thing's going to stand out on the camera?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
that's legit.
Yeah, that is legit, huh? Yeah. Now, my question is, why don't most more sport boats have it?
That's a great question. I'm trying.
It's just for that. That alone, right?
I'm trying to get that pushed out here.
Yeah. I think once they figure that out, it's like, wait a minute, I can find kelps at night.
Well, and especially just the push and nighttime fishing that we're doing now. It's just another great safety feature.
Man overboard too feature. Someone goes overboard, you have that infrared technology to be able to spot them or locate them.
I'll say this real quick, guys. Let me just jump in here.
Please.
There's a big misconception that FLIR is expensive, right? And they think that they got to spend $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 on a FLIR camera, when in reality that technology has been consolidated, and we're building cameras now, FLIR cameras that'll work with any different type of brand of electronics that you can get for under $3,000. And like Joe talked about for the PCS show, we're going to have the 232s. That'll be the camera that we're having on special. One last thing is we do have our boat show bucks. So our manufacturer's rebate will only apply for dealers exhibiting at the show. So if you come by PCS and you come talk to Kaylen and I, you get a quote from the guys at Johnson Hicks. That's when we give you the boat show bucks rebate. We sign it, and that gives you 10% off of your invoice. So if you spend $5,000, you get $500 cash back. If you spend $10,000, you get $1,000 back, all the way up to $20,000. We send you a check for $2,000 in the mail.
Wow,
that's so rad.
That's good stuff. Yeah. Hey, Dan in Pomona says, great show. I'm relatively new to electronic navigations and don't feel like the maximum benefit is being achieved. Could you recommend any resources to get better trained on navigational equipment? And we talked about your resources before. Do you have any other recommendations other than the Raymarine technical stuff, Mike?
Yeah. I mean, really, a lot of the YouTube channels, and social media, a lot of our pro ambassadors will, do these instructional how-to videos while they're on the water, real time, and say, hey guys, here we are. We're getting ready to set up for, put the kite up for bluefin. Here's how we're going to set up our sonar. Maybe, hey, I'm going to make the run out to Catalina. I'd like to, develop an auto route from the dock to the marina I'm going in, so that, the system will automatically generate a route from A to B using all your safe depth parameters, right? You tell it, hey, I'm a 25-foot sport fishing boat. Don't take me in water shallower than 20 feet, right? Different settings for the autopilot, cool. How to adjust the overall look and presentation of the charts. A lot of that stuff's available online to watch. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's great.
Very good. All right.
When we come back, we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way. More of your phone calls, more of this great info with Mike and Kaylen. You stay tuned. You're listening to Let's Talk Hookup, Southern California sport fishing voice on the Let's Talk Hookup app and YouTube and Facebook Live.
This year, make reliable boating your resolution and back it with exhilarating deals with a new Yamaha outboard during Yamaha's New Year, New Reliability sales event. From now until March 31st, 2025, purchase a new eligible Yamaha 450 to 30 horsepower outboard and get up to 7 years of coverage protection. Looking to hit the water with lower horsepower? There's a deal for you too. Purchase a new Yamaha 25 to 2.5 horsepower outboard and receive up to $200 in dealer
dealer credit toward the purchase of additional goods and services. Don't miss this limited time offer. Visit your local Yamaha dealer today. Yamaha, reliability starts here. Offer ends March 31st, 2025, subject to change. Other restrictions and conditions apply. Select models exclude 24-month Yamaha extended service added to a 36 or 60-month factory limited warranty. Choice offered to Florida residents is a 24-month Yamaha limited warranty. See authorized participating Yamaha outboard dealer for details. Cannot be used with any other Yamaha offer.
The state-of-the-art long-range sport fishing vessel, the Independence, delivers the top quality, comfort, and fishability you look for in a long-range boat. Veteran captains Mark Pisano and Paul Strasser built this incredible 112-foot vessel with the most modern technology and luxurious comfort available. Once you go on the Independence, you'll be back. Call Independence Sports Fishing at 619-226-6006 or check independencesportfishing.com.
It's time to talk about great gear from Shimano. And you know what's so cool is Shimano is going to have the most amazing booth at the PCS show.
Man, no
it's
doubt.
going to be unbelievable. And Benny Florentino, Benny Ortiz, lots of seminars, lots of personal seminars. You can learn everything from, jigging to bait fishing, and also see all the new gear from Shimano at the PCS show in the Shimano booth.
All of the new, the updated A versions of the Talicas, and we're really excited. The Depth Hunter Max Quattro is going to be available at the show. So you want that brand new ultra thin line. If you're going to upgrade your reels for jig fishing this year, a great time to do that. There's just so much killer info and so much killer product at the Shimano booth.
Yeah, you don't want to miss it. The Shimano booth and the Power Pro booth. Don't forget the Power Pro booth at the BCS show coming up here on March 6th through 9th at the Orange County Fairgrounds. For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America and certainly number one with anglers. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining build Ford tough, and never settling. But what really made Ford F-Series number one is you. So now is the time to take advantage of great deals and programs today. Visit your San Diego County Ford dealers today and explore the F-Series and the full truck lineup. They'll be glad to hook you up.
This is Captain Tim Ekstrom from the Long Range Vessel Royal Star. With my partners Randy Toussaint and Brian Sims, we have set the bar for the long-range fishing experience. Spring 8-day, summer 5-day, or fly-down, fly-back 11-day winter trip, we deliver the highest quality long-range voyage you will find. From our premium RSW fish storage to our top-of-the-line chefs and crew, Royal Star distinguishes itself from all others. Want to grab a spot on the Royal Star? Check us out at RoyalStarSportFishing.com or call Tracy at 619-224-4764.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Having a great time here this morning with the boys from Raymarine, Mike and Kaylen, talking all kinds of great brand new electronics from Raymarine. I have learned a ton on this show. This has been awesome. Really digging this.
Yeah, I'm learning a lot about our new software.
I know.
Watching on Facebook Live.
I'm not going to lie. It's very nice being on the number 2 co-pilot seat and just hanging out, talking fishing. Me and Kaylen were sharing fish pictures, looking back and forth, and poor Pete is running stress. I get it. I'm so stoked you're back from Patagonia. It is so nice to be on the cruise control side where I'm at right now.
Well, it's good to be back, but you did such a great job while I was gone. I was super impressed. I listened on the Let's Talk Hookup app down in Chile, and it sounded perfect.
Awesome.
And the sound quality on the new app is like
crazy,
amazing.
right?
It's so good. Yeah, it's so good. But there's lots of good questions coming through. Mike and Kaylen have been answering. We've been firing at them.
Yeah,
huh?
we haven't gotten a curveball past you guys yet, man.
Yeah.
Every single thing these guys have known like the back of their hand. It's been really fun. Again, you guys are just wealths of knowledge. This has been really cool.
Yeah, Mike and Orange ask a question for the Raymarine guys. Do they have designated techs that are available for product install and some DIY? Now, one thing we talked about is the ease of Raymarine's phone support, right, Kaylen?
Yeah, so we have great product support, and then to answer that question, yes, we have dealers and installers all throughout California. You can find them on our website. And the other thing, too, about getting our equipment installed by an authorized dealer or an authorized installer is you'll get a 3rd year of warranty.
What? Oh, that's a cool deal.
Yeah, so we're one of the few companies, I think the only one actually, that will offer a 3rd year of warranty
helps offset the cost of what you're paying to have a professional put it in.
Exactly.
You're going to get that back via extra warranty.
Yep. And then, too, we also offer an onboard commissioning program, too, for the dealers. So they can take the customer out on their boat for a few hours and do some button pushing with them and kind of teach them, the ins and outs of the equipment.
Like an online guy that can just be on the phone with you? Or?
No, the dealer. The dealer that will actually install your equipment will go out.
Will go out with you.
Yeah, for a day. So we'll pay them to go out with you for the day and show you how.
Raymarine's paying them for their time just to give the customer experience
Correct.
the best possible.
Correct.
You guys are rad.
That's pretty amazing. Mm-hmm. Pretty impressive for sure. You have a good one?
I thought so, and I'm very curious to hear the answer on this one. It says, I put an Axiom 9 on my Parker 2120, and I love the 3D for finding structure for scuba diving. My question, I heard that you should not run your transducer when it's out of the water. Is there a way around this when I'm putting in waypoints or changing settings when I'm at home and the boat's on the trailer at my house? That's from Bob and IB.
Yeah, I'll jump in here. Yeah, so if you're going to be using your chart plotter when the boat's on the trailer and maybe you're entering coordinates or just doing some software updates, if you tap the power button, so swipe the power button, you'll see a tab that says Disable Sounder. And what that does is that stops putting power to your transducer so that you can use the chart plotter when it's not in the water, right? We don't want the transducer sitting there pinging when it's not in the water, right? The water keeps the transducer cool, so all the different elements and sense resistors that are in the transducer don't get cooked. So yeah, just one press of the power button, disable pings for the sounder, and that allows you to use the Axiom when it's not in the water.
Again, that's good dope because that's something I didn't think about at all, and it makes total sense. Buddy gives you, hey man, that we crushed them on this rock cod spot, punch it in before you go. Like that's an easy something that all of us would do. That's a really really good tip, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. All right. Hey, I have another one here. James from La Jolla has Pete, Rick, and Caleb, and Mike. I have an Axiom 9 with side scanning, down scanning sonar, and one high-low transducer for the last 5 years. I'm looking to recommend a service center that I know has a know-how to get my system dialed in a little bit better, but I'm not overly complaining running my center console full speed, live tuned on a dime, and backtrack to the schools of yellow and tuna and several times in the last 5 years. Thanks, Let's Talk Hookup. Amazing you got my electronic guys. I thought I was all alone out here on the West Coast.
That's cool.
So what do you think? You have some guys?
He's saying he loves his. He just wants to get it professionally tuned up that much
yeah.
more. Okay.
What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, we have dealers around the area too. Some of the local guys are going to be Upgrade Marine. There's going to be Shelter Island Marine Electronics, Custom Marine Electronics, H&H. So there's quite a few.
One of your new dealers is H&H Marine, right?
Correct. Yeah. So
Jeff
they also just got that new place down there on Shelter Island.
Shelter Island,
yeah,
right,
it's a pretty sweet little building and setup that they have. Yeah. A lot of foot traffic going through there, and they've got one of the bigger electronic stores that I know of. Other than
actually in that facility.
It's actually a big footprint too. Like it's almost comparable to I'd say West Marine.
Wow.
I mean, obviously not all that big, but compared to the other electronic stores,
and they have a lot of the Raymarine stuff in that new facility.
Not yet. I mean, they're our dealer and they sell all of our stuff, but they don't have much on show yet. So yeah, I'm working on maybe getting a dealer display program for them set up so they can get some displays in there so people can button push.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, hey, again, not to keep firing at you, but I thought another great info. Hey, good morning, guys. I'm texting from Santa Cruz. We're so blessed to have Johnson Hicks here in SC. My question is, I'm very interested in getting a FLIR unit for my 36-foot charter boat. You guys go over the different options and what you'd recommend for my size operation.
Yeah, for a charter boat, if he's taking out clients and they're doing night offs and safety is super critical when you're navigating in low light conditions. Definitely probably go up to our M300 series, which is our 9-axis gyro stabilized camera. And we offer a couple different versions. The M332, which is our 320 resolution, kind of our entry-level stabilized camera. The next step up would be our M364 and the M364C. The M364C is our flagship, commercial grade infrared night vision camera that has both a dual payload. It's got a high resolution thermal camera to it, and it also has our daylight low light camera. So it's got two lenses in the camera. It'll talk to any version of electronics, Raymarine, Garmin, Furuno, even if you had a couple of big monitors on the screen like Naughty Comps or Hatlands or something like that. So yeah, I would definitely recommend either the M332 or the M364 if you're going to be putting that on a charter boat. You bet.
That's great, man.
Good info.
You guys got this.
Yeah, the technical stuff that's coming
so
across
cool.
here is pretty amazing. Yeah, for sure. Hey, there's a lot of talk about forward-facing sonar.
That's the one I had pulled up to. Yeah, I think
the
it's
one
great.
from Rich and Badley.
Go
ahead and read it.
It was from Rich and Badley. It says is the forward-facing sonar that's been dominating professional bass tournaments continuing to advance in its technology. Compartments occupied by black boxes and high energy demands have been the trade-off or deterrent. Do you guys expect that technology to continue in the future? What does it look like, and what are the applications in potential in saltwater?
Yep, I'm going to go ahead and just share this with you. Stay tuned.
Hey.
Now that we're a Teledyne company, stay tuned. Can't give away the farm too much, but this time next year we're gonna have a lot of fun stuff to talk about.
I like the sounds of that, dude. I like the sounds of that.
And here's the thing: is that most of all of the Raymarine stuff is focused on saltwater, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
yes.
Put two and two together for you guys, right? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just guessing myself because I tried to get it out of Kaylen yesterday. He wouldn't cut loose. But I'm just kind of guessing.
But how about this though? For somebody that is hearing that question, Mike, like what is forward-facing sonar? Like that Rich is talking about in the freshwater scene. Like what is that style of technology? Just to get somebody a little bit frothed up about what might be coming in the future.
Yeah, so I mean, really, kind of the big forward-looking sonars in the freshwater game is like the Garmin Live Scope, right? That you see these high-res images of guys looking for bass underneath lily pads, and then same with the Lowrance Live Scan. Really, I mean, truly, the only forward-looking blue water sonar that's available right now is the Furuno product, right? The Furuno multi-beam retractable transducers that you see on a lot of these long-range big cattle boats that could see a group of bluefin 1,000 feet in front of the boat or to the side of the boat. That's true blue water sonar, and without giving away the farm, we're going to be competing in that same.
Roger that.
Okay. All right, cool.
That'll get you propped up.
Well, speaking of forward-facing sonar, side-scanning sonar, Captain Frank Lopresti's on the line. Good morning, Frank.
Well, good morning. How are you? Boy, I hate that sound. Cattle? What are we talking about? Livestock?
Yeah. Can't use that. These are
anyhow. Pete, I just wanted to report on the Royal Polaris is finishing up. They have finished up their last trip, not last trip, their previous trip, the accurate 18-day trip. Oh, wow. They ended up with a beautiful catch of tuna. 9 fish over 200, and 1 fish at 316.
Oh, my!
So, plus wow. plenty of 100 to 160 pound fish, and I believe he ended up with 75 wahoo.
Oh my gosh!
So the wahoo fish wasn't quite as good as he's had the last 2 trips, but still an average of over 3 per person. So
I take that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, you bet. So nice trip for Jonathan. He's had actually 3 trips in a row that have just been outstanding. Okay.
Wow, fantastic. And when are they back in San Diego on the Royal Polaris?
Tuesday morning, Pete.
Cool. Tuesday morning, they'll be back in with all those big giant fish. Now, Frank, I announced earlier in the show that we're doing that Captain Rollo's Kids at Sea Friends of Rollo giveaway, and actually selling tickets in our Let's Talk Hookup booth at the PCS show. And you donated a 2-day trip on the Polaris Supreme in April, which is super cool. So Polaris Supreme's going to be doing some 2-day trips starting in April, huh?
Oh, yeah. Yep. In fact, several of them are full. But, I don't know what's going to happen with the fish. I can't predict it, but my guess is we're going to have fish in late March and April and May locally, no problem. That's what it looks like right now. We do know of, for a fact, that there are big schools of fish in the 29 block, and that it's getting no pressure at all right now. We also know that I think you might have noticed that Aliar has scheduled a couple of other trips starting around the 17th of March. And he has coincided that with when he knows there's going to be planes in the air looking. So he's going to have somebody to work with, and we have determined we're going to actually run that trip with 5 passengers or more. So,
wow. Well, and that's on the Polaris Supreme, and you can book it at the Polaris Supreme website, right?
That's right. That's correct.
So
Aliar seems pretty convinced he's going to catch fish in March, and I'm not one to argue with Aliar.
I was just going to say, man, if that man says that it's going to happen, boy, you can mark that on your calendar. You can set your watch to that.
Doug and I were having lunch the other day at Pizza Nova, and we saw Captain Barnhill, and he's running the tuna boats now, right? The pen boats.
Yeah, he's doing a fabulous job.
Yeah.
And obviously we work with Aaron, and that's part of the reason there for that scheduled date at that time. Also want to mention the Polaris Supreme is in the best shape it's ever been. A completely brand new engine room, new generators, new mains, new everything in that boat. The engine room is probably one of the most beautiful parts of the boat. And then he also completely redid the bridge to where he has everything just the way he wants it, with cameras in the engine room, cameras on deck, in the galley. He's just got it set up perfectly the way he likes to operate his sonars. He's Buddy Stevens is the one that did all the work on that bridge, and it's just gorgeous. Okay.
Wow, cool. That sounds fantastic. Yeah, Aaron was kind of cluing us in about all the fish he's seeing down south and around, and we both. Doug and I were digging into him. It's like, okay, are we going to have a good season? He says, oh, yeah, there's plenty of bluefin around. He says the biggest problem he's having is finding fish big enough for them. They don't want any of the 40 to 60 pound stuff. They want the 120 plus pound stuff. And he says there's plenty of that around too, but he says there's so much of that 40 to 60 pound fish around, which is fine by me. I don't know about you guys, but I'm fine with a 60 pounder or a 40 pounder, right? He says that they're having to keep looking because they find so much of that other fish.
So cool.
So that's a beautiful thing, right, Frank?
70 pound fish is fabulous. I'm very pleased with 40 to 70 pound fish. And then there's always the opportunity to catch a 200 pounder.
No question about it. Well, hey, that sounds great. Any spots coming available on the Royal Polaris coming up here, Frank?
The only thing we've got I shouldn't say the only thing. There's a couple spots open here and there. I believe, especially in November. I think November there's a 10-day trip with a couple of openings. Oh, I know the John Collins 10-day trip in September has one opening.
Ooh.
And you have to go on there and look, but there are a few openings. And just in case anybody wants to go on a whale trip, we're leaving this coming Tuesday night on a whale trip that has some openings, which will go to all the lagoons and all of that stuff. But that's pretty much it, Pete. They have to go to the website, and there's a few scattered openings. And I might also advise, don't be afraid to get on the waiting list, because there's always people that cancel, okay?
Yeah, for sure. And you will be at the PCS show here coming up on March 6th through 9, right?
I'll be there Thursday and Friday for sure.
All right. Awesome. Very good. Captain Frank Lopresti, Royal Polaris, RoyalPolarisSportFishing.com. Thanks for calling, Frank, and the update on that. We'll look forward to seeing Jonathan back at the dock on Tuesday.
All right. Take care.
Thanks, Frank.
Thanks, Frank.
That's awesome.
All right. You have some good question there?
Yeah, I definitely do. Question was was from James. I like to fish local, and most of my fishing is done in relatively shallow water. I've been hearing a lot about chirp and the different transducers. It's rare that I'm fishing in water deeper than 300 feet. Can you recommend which transducer I should be using for my Axiom? That's from James in San Diego.
Yeah, I would recommend an Axiom Plus for that particular scenario. If you're not going to be deep dropping or fishing out 4, 5, 6, 800 feet, Axiom Plus with our Raymarine RV100 transamount transducer, which has all 4 frequencies built into the transducer. It's also got an AHARS feature in it, so it's the transducer is stabilized. So when the boat's pitching and yaw and bouncing around in bumpy water, the image is stabilized on your sonar, right? So you're not getting these big up and down lines on there. Yeah, Axiom Plus would definitely recommend in either a 9-inch or a 12-inch unit for this particular.
So what's the difference between Axiom, Axiom Plus, and Axiom Pro?
Yep, Axiom Plus is all touchscreen, and it Comes in a 7, 9, and 12-inch unit, and it'll take our Raymarine branded transducer or a non-chirp 600-watt transducer. Axiom Pro is hybrid touchscreen as well as the buttons and rotary knob. And then really the big one is it has the big 1 kilowatt sounder module built into the display. So between Axiom Plus is our Raymarine RV transducer. Axiom Pro is RV transducer as well as 1 kilowatt. It's actually got 2 transducer ports on the back of Axiom Pro.
Got it.
Wow. Yeah. So you can plug 2 transducers into the Axiom Pro like I did, without having to put an additional module in.
Correct.
Yep. All the black boxes built into the display. You got it.
That's how nice.
Now, when you're in James's case and you're fishing shallow water, and then the fall comes around and you want to try your hand at deep drop swordfish fishing, and you're going to utilize your alternate transducer, do we need to do anything on our display side? Like, does the machine know when we're looking shallow versus deep? Like, how is it on the user side toggling back and forth between those 2 chirp transducers?
Yeah, so really when you go into the sounder page and you're looking at your fish finder, when you press the menu button in the top right-hand corner of the display, the first thing it's going to ask you is which channel do you want to look at. And when you have a series of various transducers, you might have a through hull, a transom out. In some cases we'll have 3 transducers on a boat. When you go into the channel selection on the Axiom, it'll ask you which frequency do you want to pick, and we'll actually put a little bit of a description about what that frequency does, right? And so high chirp is really good target separation in shallow water. What we consider shallow water is anything 400 feet or shallower. Then if you had a medium chirp frequency, right, that's a bit narrower beam angle, but better for target separation in deeper water. And then, for these sword guys and the guys that are deep dropping, out past 1,000 feet, that's really going to give you a lot more detail, out past 1,000 feet because of how low the frequency is and how narrow the beam angle is.
Got it.
Okay, so Kaylen, a guy comes to you at the PCS show. He says, I've got a 23 Parker. I'm not happy with the electronics I have. I want to get a better setup. What are you going to sell him? Get right on the mic there.
It depends on the size of the screen that he's looking for, the MFD. Obviously, I would suggest the Axiom 2 Pro. And then, like Mike said, you could go with 2 different transducers and go with the RV100, which is the transom mount. It gives you the 3D, the conical chirp, side vision, and down vision. And then you can.
And that's the one that's stabilized?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. And then on top of that, I would probably go with the same setup that you have and probably do like a B175. And probably a low, since you already have the.
So you do the transom mount with the one, and then an in-hull low so you can do swordfish, and rockfish, and stuff like that.
Yeah, something deeper. So yeah, your RV100 would be, like Mike said, pretty much anything shallower than 400, and then you could use that B175 for a little bit deeper stuff.
Okay.
Go ahead, sorry.
And like a 12-inch screen?
Yeah, 12-inch screen.
Just one 12-inch screen will do the job, right?
Yeah, because it has those 2 ports on the back. You can go with 2 transducers already with just one screen.
Yeah.
So
one more thing I'm gonna add to this, guys, real quick, is all the Axioms have built-in Wi-Fi on them. So for a guy that might have a 12-inch display up at the main helm and they wanted to put a sonar in the back but not want to break the bank by spending money on a second display, if you have an iPad or an iPhone, you can pair your iPad to the Axiom and actually mirror and control everything that's on the Axiom on your tablet. So I've got lots of guys that take a iPad, put it in a waterproof case on a ram mount, and put it on the transom or on the rear deck back
or
there,
up on the helm up top.
Yeah, wherever.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yep, just pull up the Raymarine app and shake hands with the Axiom, and now you have full control of your Axiom wherever your wireless device is.
On the iPad?
Yes. You can,
absolutely. Is sick.
You can control your MFDs from the iPad or your phone.
You could be on the back deck with your phone, toggling around, changing settings that are happening up inside the bridge. Cool.
Yeah, so
Big time.
For Mike's point, I use it on my buddy's Hatteras. He's got all of his electronics up on the bridge, and when I'm down on the fishing deck, there's no electronics down there, so I'll bring my iPad.
See where the bait's at.
See whatever I want,
Cool.
So.
What about video source? Like, can you add video sources to that? Like, if you, now in the world of Starlink and, things like that, being able to see things offshore that we didn't before, can you check in with the Padre game and see what's happening on a screen?
If you have Starlink, yeah. I mean, we have Netflix built in, YouTube built into our Axioms too. So
come on.
Yeah. So if
Get out of here.
Yeah. So if you get a 12-inch display or a 16-inch display and you're at the island for a few days and you're hanging out and you want to watch some Netflix or some YouTube, you can pull it up on your MFD.
And then in addition to that, I have a Seakeeper in my boat. I control the Seakeeper on my MFD.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's all in one.
This
I don't
is
need to
so
have
sick.
another display for the Seakeeper on there.
It's just crazy how fast technology flips and gives you this. Like this was just not available that long ago. I love it.
But
This is very
Raymarine
cool.
brought it back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great job, you guys. Well, this has been a lot of fun. Hey, when we come back, we're going to find out who's got themselves a full Raymarine swag pack. More Let's Talk Hookup coming your way on the Let's Talk Hookup app, Facebook, and YouTube Live.
The lighter the bite and the cleaner the water means one thing. Need a thinner leader, more natural presentations. That's where Seaguar Gold Label leader material shines. It's Seaguar's thinnest leader material yet. That means it's even less visible underwater and creates more natural presentations for better catch rates on leader-shy fish. With exceptional knot and tinsel strength, this advanced leader material is now available from 2-pound test for fishing trout in the Sierra to 80-pound test for big yellowfin in Guadalupe. Get Seaguar Gold Label at your favorite tackle dealer or learn more at Seaguar.com. The top fleet and superb fishing is what Seaforth Sport Fishing in Mission Bay is all about. With free parking and fully stocked tackle shop, it's no wonder Seaforth Sport Fishing is a favorite among anglers. Come aboard top boats like the Aztec, Cortez, Endeavor, Apollo, Outer Limits, El Gato Dos, Pride, Tribute Pacifica, Pacific Voyager, and the Voyager. Plus, the new Seaforth, Sea-Watch, and San Diego offer the finest half and full deck trips available. Seaforth Sport Fishing. For charters or regular open party schedule, check seaforthlanding.com. Run by fishermen for fishermen in Mission Bay.
Fillet knives shouldn't be disposable. Introducing AFTCO fillet knives that are built to last. Designed in collaboration with Boker, Germany, AFTCO knives feature 4116 German stainless steel, bonded with titanium nitride to ensure optimum corrosion resistance and exceptional edge retention. A non-slip TPR handle maintains a firm grip when processing game fish. Premium in every sense, AFTCO fillet knives are available in multiple length options to provide the right tool that gets the job done season after season. Fillet knives from AFTCO. Any fish, any water.
Inside information is everything when it comes to catching fish in Southern California. You need a code group to connect with what's happening on the water. FishDope.com is your code group. Inside information available at your fingertips 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. FishDope.com really does help you catch more fish and burn less fuel. FishDope.com is the only fish finding service with a spotter plane, along with a crew of top anglers on the water almost every day that report actual locations and catches. They become your code group. You get daily catch reports from Point Conception to San Catine, 365 days a year. FishDope.com has online planning tools, temperature and chlorophyll charts, hot bite icons, and more. Take it from me, if you don't have FishDope.com, you're not part of the in-the-know crowd. Membership is affordable and good for an entire year. Plus, use the special code and save $30 on a new FishDope.com membership. Check it out today. FishDope.com. Catch more fish, burn less fuel.
Everyone has their go-to fishing spot. My spot is Kingfisher Charters in Sitka, Alaska. Rock Cod Rick here to say if you're looking for the ultimate Alaska experience and the best value in Alaska, it's Kingfisher Charters. Owner Steph Bone and his crew consistently deliver deluxe accommodations, the finest food, world-class fish processing, and top-of-the-line fishing experience. We've literally sent hundreds of our listeners to Kingfisher, and they all can't wait to go back. Most Alaska resorts make big promises, and they don't deliver, or they'll nickel and dime you to drive up the cost. But not Kingfisher. Everything is included. Your license, fish processing, super deluxe accommodations, amazing food, airport transfers, your gear. Literally all you need to bring is your layer clothing, and Kingfisher covers the rest. They also have the finest boats and charter captains in Sitka, all for the ultimate value. Take it from me. Book your trip to Kingfisher Charters and you'll thank me. Kingfisher Charters. 800-727-6136 or check kingfishercharters.com. Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Having a great time here this morning. All right, it's time to find out the winner of the Raymarine swag package, including those killer tech shirts, hats, and more, a $200 value, and you're getting 2 tickets to the PCS show. Kaylen's going to do us the honors, flip the prize coin. All right, today we have a texter winning. Congratulations, Matt in Apple Valley. You are getting hooked up with the full Raymarine pack, and you're going to the PCS show. You're going to get a chance to see Mike and Kaylen yourself.
There you go. All right, and Mike, thank you for joining us on the phone, and sure appreciate what you do. And Kaylen, fantastic having you in the studio here.
Yep, anytime. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, and if somebody wants,
thanks for having us, guys.
Yeah, and if somebody wants more information on Raymarine, see you at the PCS show, right?
Absolutely.
All right, and
Look forward to seeing you guys.
yeah, and what about a website and such like that?
Where do we keep
Yeah,
in
you go
touch
to
with all of you?
Raymarine.com. Yeah, Raymarine.com. If you're ever wanting to go through our catalog, look at our different models and what we're doing, different testimonials from our pro staff. Raymarine.com has got a wealth of knowledge, guys.
All right.
Great
Thanks,
job,
guys.
you guys. This was a lot of fun. I learned a ton. I really,
Yeah.
really appreciate it. I can't wait to see you at PCS.
Yeah, we'll see you at PCS March 6th to the 9th. All right. Raymarine, thanks a lot, guys.
Yep.
And tomorrow on Let's Talk Hookup, we have a great show. Bill and Mike from PCS will be here 7 to 9 a.m. right here on the Let's Talk Hookup YouTube, Facebook Live, the Let's Talk Hookup app, and 97.3 The Fan.